Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Leila Mekhdiyeva and today I have a special video. In today's video I'm gonna share with you guys 50 random facts about me. I actually filmed this video like 4 years ago when I just started this channel, and yes, it has been in fact 4 years? Or was it 5 years? I'm actually not sure. I started in 2016. Oh, it's been 5 years. Oh my god, I had this channel for 5 years. Anyways, when I just started my YouTube channel, I published 50 random facts about me, but like majority of my earliest videos, I made that one private because I don't know, I just cringe at that Leila, like old Leila, you know. And I think now is a perfect time because there are more of you guys now, and a lot of times I get DMs asking me like personal questions like where am I from, you know, where do I live, and how old am I, and like how tall am I, like all these weird questions. Not weird, I understand that it is interesting and I do appreciate the interest. So I think it would be nice to introduce myself fully and for you guys to know a lot of new things about me that I think even people in my real life don't know actually. So without further ado, let's begin because I have 50 facts about me, and that's quite a lot, and you guys know I like to talk. So let's begin. So first fact, as you guys know, my name is Leila Mekhdiyeva and I love the meaning of my name and my last name, so I'm gonna share it with you guys because I believe in, you know, meanings. You know, I believe that if you call a person a certain name, like he or she gets a certain attribute or attributes from that meaning. Like that's my personal opinion. So therefore my name is Leila and that's Arabic name, and my dad chose this name because it is common in both of my cultures, which we're gonna come to soon. So my name in Arabic means darkness, but I also saw that my name means night, but I met some Arabic speaking people and they said it actually means like dark or black, but I go with night, you know, because like I love night and I believe that that's the reason why I'm so creative at night, you know. And my last name Mekhdiyeva is from my great grandfather's name Mehdi, which is I think Persian name, but my great grandfather was Azeri, and this name means guided by God. So I'm like night guided by God, and I think that's beautiful. As you guys know, my last name I pronounce it as Mekhdiyeva, but actually in Azeri my last name is Mekhdiyeva, so K does not exist in my Azeri last name. But in English somehow they put the K, and when I started studying in English, my professors, American professors, they were always saying Mekhdiyeva. So at first I was actually fighting that and I was like, no, I'm Mekhdiyeva, you know, but then after a year I accepted that, but I was like, not Mekhdiyeva, but at least let's like stick to at least something original, and I always correct people, it's Mekhdiyeva, not Mekhdiyeva, you know. But yeah, originally I'm Mekhdiyeva, and in Azeri I'm Leila Mekhdiyeva actually, and in Russian too. So now my ethnicity, I'm half Azerbaijani and half Kazakh. My dad is Azeri and my mom is Kazakh. And my dad was born in Azerbaijan and my mom was born in China. Yes, she's ethnic Kazakh, but she was born in China because that's where my grandparents met. They're both Kazakh, but they had to immigrate to China due to communism and their persecution of wealthy families. So my grandparents met in China because that's where their parents immigrated to save them from communism. But eventually my grandfather took his family back to Kazakhstan because he loved his country so much and he didn't want to be away from his motherland. And my dad moved to Kazakhstan and he studied there and he stayed there because he met my mom. So my parents met in Kazakhstan and they had me there. So I was born in Almaty, Kazakhstan. That's a very popular question, so now you guys know I am from Kazakhstan. My birthday is on 9th of March, so I am Pisces and I was born in 1995, which means according to Chinese calendar I am pig. And I think that's super cute. I always like loved my zodiac sign and like lunar year calendar, if that's what it is. So yeah, I do associate myself with that, even though I'm not really into astrology or anything. I am 25 years old and I'm gonna turn 26 this year. I have 3 tattoos and I want to get so much more. I already have it all in my head planned. I just cannot wait for lockdown to end so I can actually get at least one done. I am married. Actually, my husband is Slovenian, and that is why I live in Slovenia right now. I've been living here for a year and a half. So before coming to Slovenia, I was living in Prague, Czech Republic for 4.5 years, I believe. So I moved in 2015 and in February, and I left in 2018 June. So like 4.5 years. And the reason why I moved to Czech Republic was to study journalism and communications. So I got my degree in journalism and communications from Anglo-American University. I speak 4 languages. So because my dad is Azeri, I speak Azerbaijani, but my Azeri is honestly not that good. I honestly just learned it when I would be visiting because my dad would always send me to Azerbaijan. He wanted me to, you know, learn my culture, to know where I come from, where my roots are from, you know. And as a child, I didn't understand that. I didn't appreciate that because I was like, all of my classmates would go to like Egypt or like Paris or whatever, and I was like in Azerbaijan, in the village. And at the time, Azerbaijan wasn't as cool as it is now. Like now I'm dying to go there. Baku is so beautiful, but at the time it was like still, you know, just trying to build itself, so it was so boring for me. But now looking back, I'm so grateful because I learned Azeri there. Then I speak Kazakh because my mom is Kazakh and I grew up in Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan is a bilingual country and I went to Russian school. So my Kazakh is not that good, but I do understand people talking, and it's very funny because I don't look Kazakh. So when I meet Kazakh people and they're just like talking, you know, in Kazakh, and they don't know that I am from Kazakhstan and I am half Kazakh, you know, it's very fun to just listen and for them to have no idea that I actually understand everything they just said. But with speaking, I feel so shy because I have accent in Kazakh, so I just try not to communicate in Kazakh, you know. Next language is actually my first language. It's Russian because, as I said, Kazakhstan is a bilingual country, and my parents, being of 2 different origins, they spoke Russian. You know, they would speak their own languages with me, like try to, you know, awaken that in me, but we would just speak Russian, and it's like, it's my first language. I went to school for 11 years, to Russian school, so yeah, like it's my first language. And then obviously English. You hear it right now. I was learning English since I was 5. First I started in my kindergarten, and then my school, we also did it from the 1st grade, which is awesome because not a lot of people have that opportunity, to be honest. So from a young age, I was like indulged in English language, and I honestly always loved it. And I think the reason why is because of pop culture and also like TV shows and Nickelodeon and all of that. So I always admired like English language and American culture, you know. And people be like, what culture, bitch? But like, you know what I mean. So I just love English the most, to be honest. Like, I hope nobody's offended, but I think for me personally, like this is my favorite language. Besides speaking 4 languages, I was learning French, I was learning Spanish, I was learning Czech, but I did not last longer than 1 semester. Not because I didn't like it. Like Czech, I think not that I didn't like it, I just wasn't like passionate about it. And I think I'm someone who, if I'm not passionate about something, I just can't go forward. But French and Spanish, they're so beautiful and like you want to learn them. I wanted to learn both of them, and I still do. It's still on my bucket list, but for some reason, like there's always something happening. For example, with Spanish, I had to move to Prague, so I didn't have time to go on and continue learning Spanish. And then with French, I don't know, just like also life got hectic, so I still want to do it at some point, and like hopefully to get my Spanish and French to like good levels so I can like at least speak basic French and Spanish. But I think I understand Spanish more because I grew up watching all these Latin American telenovelas, you know, like soap operas. So like I feel like I was raised on that, so I kind of like understand it better. Fun fact about me that actually not a lot of people know, and I'm not embarrassed of that, but I don't share that, is that I attended or I was supposed to attend college in Malaysia before I moved to Prague, Czech Republic. Right after graduating from high school, I went to Malaysia and I was there for 10 days, and during those 10 days I realized that this is not for me. I had cultural shock, you know, and I just felt like I don't fit in there, and I was crying all the time. I was calling my friends and my dad, you know, like saying I don't like it here, and my dad was like, then come, you know, like my dad is always a very supportive like person, and he's like my best friend, you know, and he was like, I will always support you no matter what you decide. So feeling the support from my dad, I was like, I'm gonna come back. And I did lose like half of my tuition because I already paid for 1 semester, and that was sad. That was kind of shitty, but I honestly don't regret, because if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have moved to Prague, and I wouldn't have met so many friends that I have. They're amazing. I wouldn't have all these experiences. I wouldn't have studied something that I'm actually passionate about, because in Malaysia I was supposed to study, I think, media marketing, and I realized that that's not for me. I actually want to do journalism specifically. And also, if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have met my husband, you know? So it all happens for a reason. I attended jazz music school, so I had my regular school, and on top of that, I had my jazz music school because I loved singing, and I was playing the violin, and I was playing piano, and I actually want to continue to learn to play piano. That's on my bucket list as well, because I do miss music. I do miss like creativity in that sense. Also, the reason why I went to jazz music school is that I always wanted to become a singer, but honestly, looking back, I think I also wanted to become an actress, and then I also wanted to become a TV host, and that is also why I went ahead to study journalism, because I wanted to become a TV host, because I don't know, and that's why I have this YouTube channel, honestly, because I just love sitting down in front of the camera and like talking. So next fact is not gonna be a surprise to you. I love performing, because as I said, I was singing, and I actually stopped singing, and I feel bad about it, because I think that is my passion as well, and I hope that one day I'm gonna like come back to it, and maybe even make a video here and like produce something actually. And a lot of people, like when they actually hear me singing, they had no idea that I actually can sing, because I don't talk about it, I don't share it, but there is actually a video of me singing that I uploaded back in high school when I was performing in my jazzic music school. When I was performing in my jazz music school. So yeah, like a lot of people are like, whoa, you can sing? I'm like, yes. So I do love performing in any way, shape or form, and that's also why I have a YouTube channel. Like I just love this whole thing. Like I love being, you know, extra. I'm a Pescatarian, and I have been one for almost 12 years. It's gonna be 12 years this year. So I became a Pescatarian when I was, I think, 14. Oh yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Pescatarian is a person who doesn't eat meat, but fish. So I do eat fish, but I do eventually want to become vegan. Honestly, I already have iron deficiency, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but hopefully. At the age of 6, I broke my septum, which is here. It's like your chest bone, and it's called sternal fracture, which is a very funny story. So I was a child who was very, like, you know, shy and like clumsy, and I was like, one day I was like, girl, you gotta just go out there, be like, you know, the bad bitch, and stop being like this, you know. I had like an inner monologue. So we had like these horizontal bars, and I was climbing up on one of them, and I was usually like always careful, but this time I was like, no girl, like go get it, like I swear. And my mom was somewhere like away, but she was there, but she was like talking to other moms, you know, on the playground. And I literally remember that I fell with my chest on the ground, and it was just like, you know, like this, and I was so shocked that it happened that I started crying just from like being shocked, not from pain. I didn't feel pain at the time. And then, you know, a few days later, my mom noticed me moving weirdly or whatever, and she took me to the doctors, and apparently I broke that bone. And I didn't even know, like whenever I tell people that, you know, I broke this bone, they're like, that's possible? And I'm like, yes, I did it. I am 100 63 centimeters tall, or in American system, I'm 5'4". I'm very picky with my food. Like, if something doesn't smell right, if something doesn't taste right, like I just can't. Like, I don't know, I have a lot of like these criteria, and I think I just like simple food the most. But also, like, I just don't like fat food, and obviously I don't eat meat, and also I have like some food allergies, so I'm very like careful with what I eat. So every time when we go out somewhere and I need to eat something, I'm a bit like anxious. So I prefer going to the same places, to be honest, because I know it's safe there and I know their menu, and I, you know, order the same stuff all the time. I'm actually socially anxious and antisocial, you know. It's hard for people to believe it because I have YouTube channels, so they think like, oh, like I'm always so talkative and so like, you know, bubbly. But no, like I'm actually not like that in real life at all. I'm only like this in front of the camera because, you know, I love performing, as I said, and like to me when I perform is a different side of me. It's like more of an actor, you know, in front of the camera. It's not like I'm pretending to be someone, but it's different. I don't know, I think it's also, it has something to do with my personality type, which we're gonna come to later. I'm different in public when you meet me, and I'm different when I actually need to perform, for example, or like make a YouTube video, you know? I love public speaking. I feel like I said like I love performing so many times, but I feel like public speaking is like more specific, and I actually took public speaking class at uni because I really wanted to like get better at it, because I really feel like, or I want to see that in my future that I will be doing more public speaking. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I always knew I will be on the stage, you know, and I love just talking and I love performing in front of people. And like, honestly, I have so many TED Talks when I take a shower, like I'm like talking to the audience while I'm washing my hair. I know it's funny, but I am actually honest. Like, I do want to have like public speaking experience. Like, I want to get more of that because I know I'm so good at it. Like, I just know it, you know? Like, there are things I'm not good at. There are so many things I'm actually not good at, but like when it comes to public speaking, when it comes to like doing what I'm passionate about, like you cannot stop me. Like, I swear. I love reading, as you guys know if you watched my previous videos. I stopped reading during my uni years because I didn't have time to read my own books, so I would only read, you know, whatever I had to read for my uni classes. But now that I'm done with uni, I made it a priority to read more and read what I want to read, and also to do more of a self-education, because a lot of people, I feel like, stop educating themselves when they graduate from uni, you know, and that is what makes you like stop progressing, you know, because I feel like the world progressing so fast and you always need to stay updated, and also like to learn more, to have more an open mind, you know. And I always want to stay woke, and I want to know things, and I want to educate myself on things. So to me, reading, like, honestly the best activity. Like, I don't need friends if I have my books. I always wanted to write a book, and I still do. It's just like with public speaking, I just know that I see it for myself, and I don't know what exactly I'm gonna write a book about, whether it's gonna be fiction or non-fiction, but I just know that I have it in me, and of course it's only up to me to make it happen. Like, you can lay on the couch all day long and just dream of things, but I honestly feel like if I were to write a book right now, it wouldn't be as good as if I would get more experience, you know, in life, and to understand myself more and what I want to talk about. So I do want to do it on my own time. When the time is right, I will feel it and I will come to it, but I definitely want to do it before I die. I talk a lot, especially in my videos. My parents literally used to call me like, okay, so in Russian it's like птица говорун, which is like a bird that talks a lot. I don't know if that's like even like Russian or my parents made it up. I don't know, like if other people use it, but they were always like, how can you talk so much? And like now I'm married to my husband. I'm married to my husband who's very, you know, he's an introvert and I'm an extrovert, so he also tells me that I talk so much, but honestly I only talk a lot with people that I'm comfortable with. So if I'm talking to you a lot, it's like a compliment. It means that I'm safe with you. I feel like I can trust you, you know. And if I don't talk a lot in front of you or with you, it means that I I'm not vibing with you. Nothing wrong about you, just you're not my person. And because a lot of people like to tell me like, how come you talk so much in your videos and not in real life? And it's because like I'm not interested. I don't know, what do you want me to say? Like, bring up something that interests me. Otherwise, I'm just like quiet there, like sitting shy, you know, because I am antisocial, like I said. I am the only child. My favorite food is sushi and pizza. I am a germaphobe. I think it got worse since, you know, this pandemic started, because now they're always like, wash your hands, you know. And I already was very bad with like, you know, thinking about, oh my god, just imagine how many germs are out there. But like, I feel like after this started, I just became so much more like in my head about it, and honestly it's very annoying, and I'm trying to control it because I don't want to have like neurosis just because of that, you know. I have a French bulldog. Her name is Luna. She's laying right next to me on the bed, so I wish I could show her to you guys, but she's sleeping right now. I don't want to disturb her, but here's her picture if you haven't seen her before. But I show her in every single video. You probably already have seen her, but yeah, she's 7 months old and I love her. Earlier I spoke about my personality type, and I'm ENFJ. If you guys know, there are like 16 personalities according to psychology, and I am ENFJ, which is extroverted, intuitive. What is F's for? Feeling and judging. So I like these like personality tests and stuff like that because I feel like it helps me to realize who I am better. And I feel like I used to hate myself much more before I realized, oh, I'm the way I am because that's like my personality trait, you know what I mean? Like, it's just who I am, and it honestly helped me a lot to accept myself and to choose, you know, whether it's career or like friends or husband according to who I am, you know, not to let other people to tell me, you're not doing this right, you're supposed to be this and that. Like, F off, okay? Like, just. And according to an Enneagram test, I am type 8. So I am the challenger. I am powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. My basic fear of being harmed or controlled by others, basic desire to protect myself, and that's like 100%. And that's what I'm saying, like, learning more about my personality helps me a lot more to feel bad about being controlling, you know, and independent and relying only on myself, you know. No offense to anyone, but I'm proud of being who I am. I'm addicted to coffee. Like, honestly, I have a problem. I try to reduce the amount of coffee I drink per day because of my anxiety, and I've noticed that it does make me feel more anxious, but I can't just completely cut it out of my life no matter how hard I try. So I try to drink it less now, but I do realize it is my addiction. I'm not joking. It's not just like, I love coffee. I cannot live without coffee. I cannot start my day without coffee. And it all started at uni when I had my 8 a.m. class, European history, and I realized that when I drink this magnificent drink, my brain starts working way faster than before. So it got me hooked, and ever since then I did not stop drinking coffee. And honestly, during uni I drank like 10 cups of coffee per day. Before starting this channel in 2016, I had my Russian channel. So I started my Russian channel in 2014. So I had it for 2 years before starting this channel. And when I started this channel, I was doing both Russian and English, this one. And then I realized that, you know, it's a lot for one person to have 2 channels, and I can't produce quality content on both. I need to focus on one. And you know, at the time my Russian channel had more subs than my English channel, and I was like, damn, but I feel more connected to my English channel. What should I do? And I just listened to my heart, and I, you know, quit my Russian channel and made final video. Later on, I completely deleted that channel because I don't know, I just didn't want to like look back, because I was like, oh my god, did I make the right decision or not? Because this channel was not growing for a long time, you guys. Like, when I was at uni, it was so slow. Like, the growth was so slow, and I'm not saying right now I'm like huge or anything, but it's so much more than what I used to be, you know. And I'm so grateful to turn this hobby into more like side hustle, and maybe one day into my main hustle, you know. But back then it was just solely my interest and my hobby and my passion, you know. And when I was giving up my Russian channel, I was like, yeah, I just know it's right, because I don't see my future with like Russian content, you know, because also I no longer live in Russian speaking countries, so I feel like I don't connect with that content, you know. I'm more Western. I have always been. Oh, and by the way, I have more subscribers here now than on my Russian channel, so you know, I made it, you guys. I've been to 15 countries. I love traveling a lot, and I do want to add more countries to my list because I'm just so obsessed with the world, and I love seeing the world, and it just reminds me to stay humble and how small I am, how big the world is, you know, and how beautiful it is. Like, the biggest inspiration in my life is just like seeing other countries, other cities, other cultures, people. It's like, it's always different, and it's always so beautiful and inspiring, you know. So I love traveling. I only listen to R&B, hip-hop, and rap music. I can't swim. I tried a lot, and I actually took swimming classes, but it never happened. But I still hope that one day I'm gonna learn. I also can't ride a bicycle. I worked at a fashion magazine at the age of 19 for like 6 months, I think. And I think that experience was that force that pushed me to actually study journalism, because I worked at a fashion magazine right after Malaysia and before moving to Prague. So that was a really cool experience, and I actually made a video talking about it. And if you haven't seen it, I'll leave the link right here. It was like ages ago. I got a corporate job straight out of uni, and it was hella toxic, and I hated it, and it was awful, and I was there for like a year. Now, I didn't give him like 10 months, but it was like the longest time ever because I hated every single day there. I had nice people there and I had awful people there, and overall I just felt like I was being treated like shit. And I also made a video about it, but then I made it private because I was like, yeah, I'll just keep it to myself. But now you guys know that I hated that job. It was awful, and that's why I don't want to go back into corporate. Like, I want to do my own stuff. I rarely sleep with lights off because I'm scared of darkness, and I don't know what it is about me, but I scream a lot at night. Like, I have bad dreams and I literally scream, you know. It was okay when I was living alone, but now my husband is kind of scared, but I think he got used to it. But yeah, like at first it was something he had to get used to, but I don't even remember that. Like, I can scream at night and never remember that even happened. So like, sleeping with lights off a lot of times is difficult for me. So sometimes I either turn on TV to fall asleep, you know, feel peaceful, or I keep the lights on, like, you know, those subtle ones. I am family oriented. I'm very close with my parents because, as I said, I'm the only child, so my parents are the closest family members I have, and I honestly tell my parents everything, and I always like call them, you know, video call them. We see each other all the time. Like, they know everything. I honestly have no boundaries. Like, I share everything with my parents. Like, some people are even like, well, you share that, you know, but I do, like, especially with my mom, you know. I always tell her like girly stuff. Like, she always knows everything. My dad doesn't care about some stuff, so I don't share that with him, but like, I'm open with my, you know, mental health. If I'm feeling depressed or anything, I always call my parents, because they're that force that makes me feel complete again, you know. And I'm so grateful for my parents, and like, for them to be alive and healthy. Like, honestly, it's just the biggest blessing in my life. I think online I have like this persona, or at least I'm trying to portray this persona of like a baddie, you know. I'm like, I'm so cool, whatever, and everybody's like, literally nobody thinks that, bitch. But I am trying, okay? Like, I'm trying to be like this cool girl, but in real life I'm very like sensitive and empathetic and vulnerable, you know. Whenever we watch something, I would cry, like something sad. It's so easy to make me cry. Like, I'm very sentimental, you know. And also, like, if someone says something to me, like, I come home and then I like can't stop thinking about it. Why did this person say this to me? But I think I'm getting better at it the older I get. I think also living alone for 4.5 years really made me tougher. It made me realize like I have myself to stand up for myself. So F everyone and their opinions. Like I think I got much better at handling like criticism from other people, especially like comments online can get so nasty. I learned not to take it personally. Like I understand that that person who's writing this shit is just like unhappy with themselves, so they're trying to put it on me, but like it has nothing to do with me. And even if they have something against me, so what? Like I'm not gonna get, you know, worse from like some bad comment or whatever, you know? I have naturally curly / wavy hair. Like today's not my good hair day, and I'm now trying out like curly girl method. So I'm gonna make a video about that. So I don't know why today did not turn out as curly as usually, but just a lot of people ask me like, oh, how do you do your hair? And I honestly don't do anything. This is like me washing my hair and letting it air dry, like period. No extra work there. And the last fact about me is that I'm a night owl and I just sleep from like 5 a.m. to like 11 a.m. or like 12 p.m. which I know is awful, but I've always been this way, especially now during the pandemic and lockdown. Like it's so hard for me to go to sleep early. Like I just find it so peaceful, like nighttime. I just love it so much. And as I said, my name means night, so I feel like that's why, because like it's my time, prime time. I honestly feel so much more energy at night, and that is a bit problematic because now that I live with my husband, a lot of times during the day I'm like, I don't want to film, I'm so tired, and then like literally it gets dark and I'm like, I'm gonna film this and that and this and that, and he's like, I want to go to sleep at some point, you know? So yeah, I always need to like find common ground, and of course I'm trying to do my best not to do it late, but it's just me being me, okay? Please don't criticize me because I'm a very vulnerable person. And that is it for me for today, you guys. I can't believe I just talked for so long and I just shared 50 facts about me. Like, what? But I hope now you guys know me better because I shared a lot of stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click that bell to get notified about my new videos. Don't forget to follow me on my socials at Leila Mekhdiyeva, TikTok and Instagram. I honestly love it there. TikTok, I became addicted a bit. Also, I tried out this new makeup today, like Foxy Eye Lift. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Bye.